Hi guys! Welcome to Marcos Approved Games. It's me, Marcos Approved, and today we're talking about Dead by Daylight. Today is the debut of the very first episode of Rise and Shrine, the weekly show where we talk about new perks available in Dead by Daylight's Shrine of Secrets. This shrine is active from January 26th to February 2nd. Without any further ado, let's jump right into this week's round of perks. The first perk we have up is a killer perk, and it is Shadowborn. Shadowborn is a teachable perk from the Wraith. With this perk, your field of view is increased by 9, 12, or 15 degrees. The unfortunate thing is that field of view does not stack, meaning that any add-ons that may improve the field of view will not increase it further. This perk is great for players who might need or even just feel a bit more comfortable having a little help seeing more of the map. One significant downside is that Shadowborn also increases the angle at which the killer can be blinded by flashlights. The next perk up is a survivor perk called Repressed Alliance. Repressed Alliance is a teachable perk for the ever so lovely Cheryl Mason from the Silent Hill DLC. When repairing a generator for a total of 80, 70, or 60 seconds, this perk becomes activated. Then, while you're repairing the generator, press the active ability button to call upon the entity to block the generator for 30 seconds. Affected generators will be revealed to all survivors by a white aura. This perk can be a great counter to the infamous Pop Goes the Weasel, an extremely powerful and useful killer perk teachable by the Clown. When a killer has Pop Goes the Weasel, after hooking a survivor, the next generator they damage loses 25% of its progress. But the killer needs to damage a generator within a max time frame of 45 seconds. So this perk can potentially save a generator from losing just that much more progress. The significant downside about this perk, if a survivor activates Repressed Alliance, a survivor also cannot continue to repair it. So use the entity's power wisely. Moving on to the third perk, a killer perk known as Remember Me. Remember Me is a teachable obsession perk for the legendary Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street DLC. Each time you hit your obsession, you increase the exit gate opening time by 4 seconds up to a maximum of 8, 12, or 16 seconds. The obsession is not affected by Remember Me, and you can only be obsessed with one survivor at a time. This perk is a good perk that can help turn the tides of a gen-rushing Survive with Friends group. Plus, you can still gain tokens after the exit gates are powered. The only downside to this perk, if your obsession stays completely hidden for the entire match, or the obsession is a looping god, then you could potentially be using all your time trying to hit them and get stacks while the rest of the team rushes the gens. But odds are, you'll get those hits and get your tokens. And for our final perk this week, we have Babysitter. Babysitter is a teachable perk for the well-known Steve Harrington from the Stranger Things DLC. When you unhook a survivor, the rescued survivor will leave no scratch marks or trails of blood for the next 4, 6, or 8 seconds. Additionally, both you and the killer will see each other's auras for 4 seconds. This perk is for the die-hard altruistic survivors out there. Babysitter is a great way to make sure the rescued survivor isn't immediately tunneled back down and to bring the focus directly to you, which is a great setup for you to give the killer some good old-fashioned loops. One perk combo that is useful for the more stealthier survivors is to combine this perk with Jeff Johansson's teachable perk, Distortion. As long as you still have tokens, Distortion allows for your aura to be hidden from the killer for 6, 8, or 10 seconds. So essentially, with this combo, you'll be able to see the killer, but they won't be able to see you, which will leave both you and the rescued survivor seemingly undetectable for enough time to make a clean getaway as far away from the killer as possible. And there you have it, folks, our perks for the week. Let me know in the comments which perks you're going to pick for yourself, or even let me know if it's better we're saving your shards for next week's shrine. As for me, the Marcus approved perk of the week for Survivor is going to have to be Babysitter. Even though most perks are situational, it's practically inevitable that a survivor is going to be hooked, so you will definitely get use out of this perk. And if you aren't the greatest at looping, most of the time it's because the killer shows up as a surprise and your brain might not know how to handle the situation. But with this perk, you'll be able to mentally prepare yourself for the looping to begin and save a fellow survivor at the same time. And for you killer mains out there, the Marcos approved perk of the week is Remember Me. With this perk, as long as you don't focus on chasing just one or two of the same survivors, you'll really be able to get some value by smacking that obsession repeatedly throughout the match and having it take a little bit longer to open those gates, giving you a bit more time to spread that hurt all around. And that about wraps up this week's episode of Rise and Shrine. But first, I want to thank you so much for watching, and if you've enjoyed and or found this useful, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring that little bell icon to get notified when I post the next episode. Thank you again for watching, and I sincerely appreciate your support. Until next time, my name is Marcus Approved. Now go out there and make this week you approved. Bye guys!